Hello, and welcome to another Father of the Day interview as we celebrate fathers this month of June. I'm your host George, and with me today I have Mattia. How you doing today, Mattia?
Doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm good. Mattia we're really excited to have you today, and for
Thank you,
you to
thank
share
you.
your unique fatherhood experience. Can you start off by just telling us a little bit about yourself and where you're joining us from today?
So my name is Mattia again. Uh, I'm currently located in Orlando, Florida. Uh, my wife and I moved here from Boston 3 years ago. Um, I'm
Nice.
a yeah.
All right. And can you start off by telling us a little bit about your fatherhood journey and how it began?
All right. So my fatherhood journey began a little bit before COVID. So
Mm,
there's a lot to kind of encompass, but I wrote a short like narrative of it. So I'm
yeah.
gonna kind of share that with you. So
Yes.
after my wife and I decided to move from Boston, Massachusetts in 2019 to Central Florida, we purchased our first home, and God decided that we were ready to expand our family.
Uh,
We found out my wife was pregnant on January 25th, 2020. Prior to finding out she was pregnant, I was a traveling barber, traveling from Orlando to Boston every 2 weeks, servicing clients. This was my main source of income outside of me being a freelance designer. So, if you remember, this was right before the fear of the pandemic started.
mm-hmm.
So, being in a whole new place, um, in a whole new state, not really knowing anyone, and the world was basically on the verge of just unknown at that time. It was an unknown virus. We didn't know anything
Yeah.
about COVID, you know.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
um, basically, I had to make a decision on basically stop traveling at that point. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, again, it was just for the safety of my wife, safety of the baby, et cetera, et cetera. Um, um,
Yeah. Yeah. And I was I was really sad when you started traveling. Very
yeah, I mean,
sad.
you were one of my main clients as well, definitely.
I was
So
so sad.
keep in mind it was I was servicing over 100 people every single time that I came back to Boston, you know, and it was
Yes.
people that I was cutting here for the past what 10, 15, 12 years, you know.
Yes.
So it was just different, you know. So I basically had to cut all of that. It was basically just a lot of uncertainty at the time, et cetera, et cetera. So we found
Yeah.
out she was pregnant.
Uh huh.
Um, so I basically had to stop all that. And then right
Yep.
after I stopped all of that, the world shut
Mm-hmm.
down. So everything shut down. Basically, it was just me and her at home, basically trying to figure it out. Like she was pregnant. She at that point, I think she was 2 to 3 months pregnant or so. So you know, she was obviously going through like the morning sickness and
Yeah.
just all of that, right? We didn't have any family close by, um, and it was just really we were just kind of up in limbo. So
Yeah.
I'm going to continue going on with this. Um, so all the norms that we knew as first parents, we had to basically modify to fit the current world situation.
Yeah.
So at this point, my focus was to make my wife's first pregnancy experience as close to normal as possible. That meant giving her an amazing paternity photo shoot. So as you know, I do photography as well,
Yeah.
um, which I which I shot myself.
Mm-hmm.
We had to create like a gender reveal,
Yep.
and I turned that into like an experience so that basically the whole family and all of our close friends were able to basically be a part of that. And then I
Mm-hmm.
also had to another side of it was I helped plan a baby shower. Um,
Mhm.
so those are things that we had to kind of do in the midst of COVID to basically make everything or make her feel as normal as possible as a new mom, you know. And again, I
Yeah.
mean, it was
Yeah.
from it was my experience as well. So like, I'm a first time father. Like, I definitely
Mhm.
want to have a gender reveal and have, you know
Right.
what I mean, have all the normal things that
Yes.
a normal first time parent would basically go through.
Yes.
So all in all, that was how it really started. Again, with COVID being a thing, we the normal thing that a parent, that a first time father would do is to go into the doctor's appointment with the mom. But at that
Yes.
point,
Yes.
I basically was, I mean, I didn't, I was able to experience it, I think like 3 times
Mhm.
before before the lockdown happened. But then after
Yes.
that, all the other visits, I basically had to, I drove her there and I sat in the
Yep.
car. You know what I mean? I
Oh
guess
man,
one
that
up,
is tough.
yeah.
That-
So I guess one upside of it, I got to record some of it through my phone. But
Mhm.
again, you know, it's not the same
Mhm.
being able to just be in the room and being there to support her and that type of stuff. Um,
Yes.
so I guess that was one main challenge in the beginning.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I mean that's really how it started out. So
Okay.
I guess I'm gonna just fast forward to after she gave birth.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
so with my wife Strand, God bless us with a baby girl. Her name is Zaya,
So yeah.
and we didn't really have family in it or anything.
Yeah.
Just like if you can imagine being thrown into the sea and just we just had to figure
Yeah.
it out. That was what
Yes.
it was, you know.
Wow.
All right.
So what I'm saying is, how old is your daughter?
How old is she?
Yes.
She is 1. So she's, well, again, now you're a parent. You go
Yeah.
in months. So she's 20
Yeah.
months old. She actually made 20 months 2 days ago.
Okay.
Um, and she'll be 2 years old on October 2nd. Here.
Oh wow. Oh wow. So can you tell us a little bit about her personality? Does she act more like you or more like your mom? Her mom.
I would say she has a mix of both of us. So
Yes.
me as a kid, I was like really like energetic. So I was
Hmm.
like always getting into stuff. So my
Yeah.
mom, she actually says like, "Oh, Mattia, she reminds me of you because
Yeah.
she seems like she's always getting into stuff." And I'm like, I'm co-signing. Yeah, she's always getting into stuff. She's like, she's just very energetic.
Hmm.
And then she's like my wife in the sense that she's like, I'm gonna say, I guess easy terms would be stubborn.
Hmm.
Stubborn in the sense of like, for example, when she was born, uh, I think it was like maybe a few weeks after her birth. Typical normal babies would want to be swaddled.
Hmm.
She hated being swaddled. So like you basically
Wow.
like any type of confinement, she basically doesn't like. And I guess
Hmm.
that's pretty similar to my wife. Like she's very free and likes to she doesn't like to be confined.
Right.
So I would say in terms of personality wise, like she takes a lot of that from my
Hmm.
wife and
Hmm.
the energy she gets from me.
Oh, nice, nice. So her being 20 months, what type of activities do you do with her, and what have you seen that works and what she's not interested in? Because at 20 months, obviously she still has her personality, she still has
Hmm.
her identity. So what type of activities do you guys do?
So with me really having to take over and being again stay at home dad essentially
Yeah,
again
yeah,
after pandemic my wife she had to stay work from home job.
yep.
So she worked from home and I basically took care of her through the daytime.
Hmm.
And so again with the newborn, her and I basically, number one thing for me is learning, right? So again,
Mm-hmm.
I try to expose her to like her alphabet as much as
Mm-hmm.
possible. And we basically had like a system set up. So like we do alphabet in the morning, and then I'd allow her to watch like allow her to watch Elmo for like
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like maybe 30 minutes or so, and then we'd obviously like physical activities. So such as
Mm-hmm.
like again, she started walking early, so like when
Oh
she
wow.
started showing any type of signs of like what she started walking maybe what 4 or 5 months, like
Wow. That is
really early.
crazy.
Yeah. So
That
when
is
she started
crazy.
showing any signs of
Wow.
anything, I was just like I allowed her and I tried to push her to do that. So she
Yeah.
started walking. Now she runs, and the other day actually she actually started jumping.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah. So
She's gonna be one athletic kid.
yeah. So I, I, I kind of have a feeling she might be. I mean, I was really athletic growing up as
Mm-hmm.
well too. So,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe she might take that side from me.
Yeah.
So, in terms of activities, we do a lot of learning activities. So, like, I do have like a lot of flashcards, the
Mm-hmm.
alphabet. I've been teaching her vowels, so now she knows like A, apple, or B,
Yeah.
ball.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so just a lot of learning activities,
Yeah.
going to the park.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I do want to take her into swim lessons, but I
Yes.
mean, I've been teaching her that myself
Mm-hmm.
for now. Um, yeah, I mean that's about
That's good.
it
That's
for
good.
yeah.
That's good. So, what is the most challenging part of fatherhood?
I would say the most challenging part would be to, I guess, basically trying to balance my work life and giving Zaya the amount of attention that she needs. Um, so I guess that would be one major balance.
Nice. So as dads, like we don't really get enough services just made specifically for us. What would you, what message do you want to send to society about that?
I would definitely say that mothers play a major role in raising a kid or a child. But I would say a father definitely plays an even major role in
Hmm.
supporting that mother to raise that child.
Yep.
Um, so I feel like we need to, as a community, sometimes give those fathers that type of acknowledgement as well. Um, we need to, and I guess that's why this platform is actually good.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yes.
agreed
Yes.
to do this interview, because it's like the recognition that some fathers don't receive
Hmm.
with all the sacrifices that they had to make kind of behind the scenes of just a baby. Like for me, again, traveling barber,
Hmm.
et cetera, and basically I just being straightforward, I really had to give up my work
Hmm.
to basically be able to help take care of this of my daughter. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I guess it's it's a positive thing to uplift. I guess I would
Yes.
say
Yes.
it's a positive thing to basically be able to uplift and share more fathers who are actually being fathers, and also
Right.
just kind of give them, I guess recognition or
Right, right, right.
support. I mean, as much support as they need to basically inspire other fathers to be
Yeah,
good fathers. Yeah.
yes, definitely, definitely. And I love what you said. Everything you said is very true. We do need to support. Most importantly, the recognition of just saying, "Hey, you're doing a good job." Like that affirmation, the
Mm-hmm.
words of affirmation. That's something that most fathers don't receive a lot, and will go a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so, a question? Another question I have is, what advice would you give a new father about fatherhood?
All right. So, advice. The number one thing I would say would be fathers have to be consistent. So it's not only being consistent with just the child, it's being consistent with your significant other. Um, so for me, it was basically reassuring my wife that I'm here for her. You know, it
Mhm.
was letting her know that, hey, you know what? If you, whatever help that you need, I'm basically going to do whatever it is that I got to do to basically make sure that the baby, or Zaya in this case, was good, you know?
Mhm.
So first and foremost, I think it would be for the father to basically support his significant other as much as possible. Because again, fatherhood starts before the baby's even here. You know
Yes.
what I mean? Fatherhood really
Yes.
starts before the baby's here. Like when my wife was pregnant, it was, are you hungry? Making sure that she's fed. Do your
Mhm.
feet hurt? Making sure that her feet don't hurt. Making sure that she's basically mentally stable, you know, as
Mhm.
much as as much as I can. You know, so
Right.
that would be the first thing that I would recommend to any father. Make sure that the
Mhm.
mother is good. Second
Nice.
thing would be, you have to show consistency, also show consistency to that child. So,
Mm.
for example, every day I pick Zaya up and I say, I love you. I let her know that basically just fill her with love, fill her with positivity. Let her know that daddy loves her. Let her know that I'm here. Let her know that um, she can basically do anything, you know? So that's first thing. Fill her with positivity, or fill your child with as much positivity as possible. Um, and the third thing that I would say to any father is, you need to put aside your ego, or put aside any type of yeah, I would say ego. So
Nice.
with putting
Nice.
aside,
So, no, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
yes, so with putting aside your ego, it's there gonna be times that you basically don't want to do certain things,
Mhm.
and you're gonna have to do it
Right.
because it's for the best for your child, you know? So
Right.
yeah,
Definitely.
so putting
That's
aside
some
your ego.
that's some really good advice, and fathers are gonna be watching this, and they're really gonna take to the advice you just gave.
Hmm.
So for the outro, I have some rapid fire questions. So I'm just gonna
Hmm.
say a word and tell me the first thing that comes to mind. So the first
Okay.
word is kid.
Happy.
Partner.
Love.
Uh, fatherhood.
Unknown.
Love.
Pure.
Okay. Dad.
Present.
Uh, sleep.
Deprived.
Gift.
Uh, from God,
Greatness.
even greater. You got to be even greater.
And lastly, self-care.
It's a must.
Yes, definitely. Mattia, thank you so much for joining me today and taking time out of your day. We appreciate you as a father. We appreciate you for everything you're doing with your family. And
Thank
I
you.
hope you
Thank
have
you.
a happy Father's Month to you and happy Father's Day. And you know that you're appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Same to you, bro.
Thanks.
Thanks.